Here is your daily dose of the Ultimate Sales Machine coming to you from the new edition. Visit ultimatesalesmachine.com to get your copy or multiple copies. I am your host, Amanda Holmes, CEO of Chet Holmes International. What you're about to learn has assisted 250,000 businesses to generate billions of dollars, working faster, better, smarter.
Hey, so I was just on a call and they found this very valuable, so I wanted to bring it to you guys too. It's shocking how 90% of companies do this wrong. It's super simple, and yet we forget because we're so inundated with so much information, we lose sight of what actually generates an ROI. So I'm going to give you an example. This is our framework, 4 parts on how to double your sales while cutting your stress in half. First, we need to know our goals. 51% of small to medium-sized businesses do not have a clear goal, or maybe they do at the top and then they've forgotten how to explain it to the rest of the staff. So we have to know where we want to get to first. Then, once we are clear on our goal, who do we need to get to that goal the fastest? I'm going to give you an example. I was talking to a real estate broker who made $1 million a year, and she was hustling with everything she had to make that $1 million a year. Now I asked her, where do you get the most amount of sales from of all your lead sources? And she said, it's so funny you would ask that. It's actually my children's school. That's where I get the most sales from. And just before that, she was telling me that she doesn't spend enough time going out to different networking events to make more leads. And I looked at her and I said, I bet you're not the lazy type. I don't get that vibe from you. It's not about being busy. It's about being strategic. So I said, well, if you were to get 2 more schools, what would that do to your business? And she looked at me and she said, it would double. So what are we doing here? We're thinking about who will give us bigger leverage faster instead of just chasing after that dollar. So if she had 3 schools in total that were referring her clients, she would get double the amount of sales. So how do we get hyper focused on those that can produce 10 to 20% of the sales rather than just 1-to-1? Then we need to think about what do we need to say to get in the most amount of doors the fastest. Now, if you're only talking in an elevator pitch, I will tell you right now that 97% of the time your elevator pitch is failing you. Why? Because only 3% of the market at any given time is in the buying now category. Another 7% are open to it. 30% think that they just don't have it on their periphery. The next 30% think that they're not interested. And the last 30% are definitely not interested. So if you are using your elevator pitch, you're missing out on 97% of the potential market. What you need to be doing is using a stadium pitch. A stadium pitch gets the attention of everyone that you're speaking to and educates them up into the buying now category while resetting the buying criteria in your favor. So you're the only logical conclusion. That's where we get to what do we need to say. That's our education-based marketing approach. Then, where do we need to say it to deploy it to get the highest ROI? Because I will tell you right now how many times a company is investing in all these different marketing mediums, because 15 years ago, there were only 7 different marketing mediums. Today, there are on average 21 different marketing mediums. No wonder we can't figure out where our ROI is coming from. No wonder we don't know where our ideal clients are spending their time. So once we know number 2, then number 4, that deployment becomes a lot more focused. Okay, I don't need to spend all of these marketing dollars in all these different marketing mediums because my ideal client is not in half of them, which is so common you'd be shocked to hear. So what is our goal? Step number 1, who do we need to reach out to get to the best people that will generate us that goal the fastest? What do we need to say to get in the most amount of doors? And then where do we need to say to generate the highest ROI? You'd be shocked by 90% of companies miss these simple 4 steps. But if you have them, you can double your sales while cutting your stress in half. If you want to know how this actually applies to you specifically, you can go to howtodoublesales.com. That's howtodoublesales.com. And we can actually talk to you about how that would work for your business.
Make sure to get your copy or copies at theultimatesalesmachine.com. There's a lot of special bonuses that you can't get going to Amazon, so make sure you check it out at ultimatesalesmachine.com.